Okay. A very good evening, and you're very welcome to the first Business and Enterprise Awards with your host Hugh Leddy, and sponsored by ATP Signs in Virginia, County Cavan. My first guest this evening, on the first show is the President of the Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Jim Burke. You're very welcome.
Good evening, Hugh. I'm delighted to be here.
Thank you. And Jim's here. I suppose we'll talk about a good few things in the course of the show, but the main thing that we're talking about is the Cavan and Business Tourism Awards, which is, I suppose, it definitely is a new venture in Cavan for the Chamber of Commerce, and you'll tell us now a bit more about how it came about and your own involvement in it.
Hugh, I suppose when we looked at the Business and Tourism Awards back it was before Christmas last year, last October, November, we looked at it and we decided how would we portray the business community in Cavan and County Cavan in a prosperous way and a positive way. And we felt that a good awards ceremony and a good awards system would be one of the ways that we could do that. And when we looked at it too, we realised that it was going to be a very hard thing for Cavan Chamber of Commerce to do on our own. I suppose the way the economy has gone and the way all organisations work now, to have something successful, we felt that you need maybe a few organisations involved to have a successful event. So we met with the Anglo-Celt and we asked them what their views on it. We made a presentation to them, and they run a very similar scheme in award scheme up in Meath through the Meath Chronicle that they also own.
Okay, so they had experience in something similar.
They had experience, and Cavan Chamber of Commerce had a past history as well. There was also an award scheme ran 3 or 4 years ago where Mary Coughlin presided over that. So we looked at it, and together we felt that we could come up with a good evening where we would present awards to successful businesses in Cavan. But we also felt, and one key part of it for us was, this was our first year doing it. This would be our first year doing it. And we wanted this to become a yearly event. For a couple of different reasons. One of them to portray the business community in Cavan in a positive light, and more or less to be a celebration of the business community.
And I suppose recognition as well for the work that they do and the people they employ.
The work that goes on in small and medium enterprises is just like colossal. I mean, you yourself are in business. I myself have my own business, and we love what we do. But it's hard work, and it's hard on staff, and it's hard on the owners. And isn't it lovely to get recognition among your own peers for your success?
Yes, it certainly is. Yeah.
Maybe have an evening that you can go out and enjoy and meet people and network with different people. But we felt to have this as a success, we needed a key speaker. We needed someone that was good, that added prestige to the night and made the first year a huge success, which you could carry on to other years.
And you certainly delivered that later with the story you want to tell us now. Who you have,
we met with Joe Riley, and we asked Joe Riley would he.
Joe Riley, of course, the local
Joe Riley's a local TD, and Joe Riley has always been very good to Cavan Chamber of Commerce and works well with us.
Good to Cavan in general.
Generally, like he's a public representative, and it
works hard for the county.
It's no easy job, I suppose, in the present climate. And we asked, would he make representations to on Taoiseach? Would he come down and would he present the awards? And we put the case forward that we have a very strong community here in Cavan, very strong business community in Cavan, and lo and behold, we got the answer back, yes.
Very good.
And
no doubt you were delighted with that achievement.
We're delighted with that. And I think it shows.
I think now, in fairness to the Taoiseach, he makes a point of he has a great affinity with the small and medium business community. He appreciates, he recognises the contribution that they make.
He does, we feel, and I suppose coming from Mayo and coming from where there would be a lot of indigenous businesses over in the West as well.
Yes.
He would have a realisation of what they bring to an economy, and like when you have a small local business, they themselves, that local business is going to spend money in that area. That's generally where their money is made. That's where they're going to spend their money. So we were delighted to get that, and that really added prestige to our evening as well. And it's going ahead now on September the 27th. We're working very, very hard behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We would have.
That's about 3 weeks, a little less than
3 weeks away, and there's strong demand already on tickets for it.
Yeah.
We would be working away with the Anglo-Celt in relation to nominations and in relation to who's going to. We have different categories there as well.
And who else did you get involved there from supporting the overall concept with outside the business community, so to speak? Local authority involved?
Oh yes, we would also have very strong support here from Jack Heath in Cavan County Council.
Yes.
We have also a category in the awards for the for a tourism, the Cavan Business and Tourism Awards.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, the Cavan Business and Tourism Awards 2010-2011. And I mean, tourism is becoming tourism, from the history of the Fleadh and how well the Fleadh has done, tourism is going to become an important aspect of Cavan, we feel.
Yes.
And there's a section there to award the tourism business, tourism in Cavan.
The past 3 years, of course, 10, 11, the past 3 years for the Fleadh has been a huge success.
The Fleadh has been a huge success, but I suppose now it's about capitalising on the Fleadh and capitalising on the work that has been done there. You know, and that's really, I suppose, where we're at as well, is to highlight that Cavan Town and its area and County Cavan is a good place to come, do business in and to live in.
How many, approximately how many members is in the chamber?
We've over 100 members, and
tell us a bit, about the chamber itself.
People always ask me, what does a chamber do? And a chamber is in business for business.
Yes.
It's there to support the business community, and that's what it's there for. We would make representations to Cavan County Council, to national TDs, to our own TDs, to ministers, where we would also offer training courses for our members as well. We would have affiliations for our members as well. We'd have discounts for our members. We would have, there's benefits in joining the chamber. And the other point about the Cavan Chamber of Commerce, Hugh, and about any chamber and any organisation, I suppose, is how you meet people and the networking that takes place there.
Yes.
And I would feel that's a very, very important part of a chamber. Yeah. That you get to meet people, you get contacts from that, and maybe get some business from that.
Well, of the 50, 60, 70 people, businesses that would be actively, as we know with any organisation, it's a 60, 70%, and then there's others for various reasons, don't be attending all meetings, but that sort of network itself, to know what's going on in the business community, what's happening both nationally and locally, it has to be a huge, huge benefit.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, you're not going to be successful, no matter what you do now in business. You must preach it. You must tell everyone what you do to be successful in business, I feel now. Right. And it's very important. It's very important, yeah.
Yeah. So, your own background, how long are you in Cavan yourself, Jim?
We're in Cavan Town 12 years.
Very good.
My first job in Cavan Town was I used to manage the Kimmer Hotel.
Yes,
for 2 years.
Yeah.
I
didn't think you were that long in Cavan.
You don't find the years going by. You don't find the years going by. Then we got the opportunity to lease a service station, Enred service station. We leased that for 4 years.
Yes.
And now we lease a service station out there at Cully's and St. Pat's, and we employ 21 people there, and it's going very well. And we're very happy with it. It's hard work, but we love it.
Yes. We love it. I mean, any business, any person that's in business today, it's an achievement. But to employ, 1, 2, 5, 10, and you're talking about over 20 people, it's a credit to anyone in the current business environment. It's tough going, but
business at the moment is tough. There's no doubt about it.
Yes.
But business people and people in Cavan, the business environment in Cavan, they're adjusting to that. There was 106 startups in Cavan this year alone.
Yes.
I mean that's a phenomenal figure for startup businesses, and people are identifying markets. They're coming up with ideas. They're putting plans together. They're going out there to Vincent Reynolds and Marcella out there on the Enterprise Board. Yes. And they're working, the Enterprise Board, you must say, in Cavan County Council, working very hard to people, putting plans together, helping people, giving people ideas. And I think that they have to be applauded too for the help they're giving and the support they're giving to people that are starting up small businesses. And they'll be the lifeblood, I think, of this country in this area.
Yeah. There was an event there, I think it was prior to the Fleadh, a couple of weeks before the Fleadh, an award or a jobs initiative down there that I was at in the Farnham myself. If you recall, I know you were speaking at it, and the awards in the Farnham, and not the awards, but it's what we call a promotion. But when Vincent Reynolds got up towards just introducing the guests, right, and he went through all the details as Vincent, the CEO of the County Enterprise Board, all the achievements of the County Enterprise Board for the last, since it was inception. It's just staggering the amount of businesses that they have supported and the amount of businesses that are still going and growing from the beginning.
Sure.
Some of them you wouldn't even have heard of.
Yeah, it's unreal out there. I mean, since I have got involved in Cavan Chamber of Commerce the last 3 or 4 years, we are working extensively with the Enterprise Board, Vincent Reynolds and Marcel out there, and it's great to see the companies that are starting up out there and the people that are coming in with ideas. It's just brilliant, And sometimes I feel, I suppose, they don't get the credit that they're due.
Yeah.
The work that they're doing out there.
And that's, you know, omitted to say there coming in that when you started that part of the conversation, that event was covered by Cavan TV, and it's available, and it's available there to watch on video as well. Yeah. You know, you can, on the website, you can go in and watch it. Now, that evening, I think there was, the Jobs Minister Richard Bruton was speaking. He was the main speaker, one of the main speakers that evening.
He was, and he spoke again about Indigenous businesses and about supporting Indigenous businesses and supporting local businesses. And that is important. It is very, very important to support it. You'd hope that that carries on with that the government carries on with that.
Yeah.
You'd hope that the government actually does do what they're saying they're going to do, which is to support businesses and keep that support there, and that they don't cut the funding for the Cavan Enterprise Board or the work the Cavan County Council would do in relation to helping local businesses in Cavan here. A lot of that work would go on in the background, and people wouldn't even, you know, unless you're directly involved in business, and people wouldn't appreciate. No, they don't. You know, you need to see it, and you need to be involved in it. Coming back to the awards, how many categories nominations do you expect approximately? I know you're still working. We have 8 different categories. Wow. And we would have one tourism category as well. They would vary from the best marketing initiative of the year, the best new business of the year, the best retailer of the year, the tourism awards, gold service standard award for the year. Yeah. And again, like it goes back to recognising the achievements of businesses in County Cavan and highlighting that. And in some ways, here I suppose a celebration of that, and a celebration, and about the positive. When you talk about the positive, every day you turn on the radio, you turn on the television, people are constantly talking about companies closing. And I suppose in Cavan this area here, we've had our fair share of closures. You know, we could talk about Quinn's, we could talk about the property effect that it's, you know, and that's had a detrimental effect. And that's aside from the fact that they're so close to the border. It comes and I know it comes and goes, that competition, but it doesn't. But you know something that gives you resilience. Yes. And I mean, people up around this area. I'm not from this area, and I love living up here, and my wife and I moved up here 12 years ago, and we love it up here. And I love to see the resilience of the people, and over the years, how everyone here has survived. Yes. I mean, we have multinationals here, and we're very, very grateful for them. You have Crampton Greaves out the Dublin Road, you have Abbott's, you know, you have a lot of very big successful businesses in Cavan. Yes. But for years, Cavan, I suppose, because it was near the border and the different things that went on the border, it had a negative effect on it. So Indigenous businesses had to succeed, and there's a great sense of it up here. It's a great sense of do it, get on with it, and people are beginning to adjust to it. Yeah, well, I suppose the like of McCarran's factory, Lakeland Dairies, those, you know, when you see the report that comes out from Lakeland Dairies, you know, and the amount of countries that they're exporting to, it's just... Michael Hanley spoke that night. Yes, Michael Hanley spoke that night. And I didn't realise until that night, but they export, the amount of stuff they export, I don't have the figure to hand. Yes, but I remember I was there. I think 60-70% of stuff they export. I mean, if you're sitting in a plane, you open up your butter pad, your little milk thing, that's what they make. Yes. And that's all over the world. I mean, they're a massive success. Lakeland, it's originally Killeshandra, but now emerged, and it's now called, as in with Egish, I think it was, and it's Lakeland Dairies. Sorry, I could change there. Coming back to the awards, how many you have 8 categories, and is there a few in each category then? We have 8 categories, and what we would have 3 finalists in each category. Shortlisted. Yeah. And the judges that we would have Marcella Roden from the Cavan Enterprise Board. We've Sean Gallagher from Dragon's Den. Yeah. McDwyer would be the representative from Cavan Chamber of Commerce, and we have Johnny Hohannon, ex-owner of the Enbus Cell. Yes. So good wide mix of expertise. Very important, and good local knowledge of what goes on and what businesses are doing. And they are the judges, and it'll be announced on the night, and we'll have the Taoiseach there to present the overall award out of the 8 awards. Then we'd have the overall winner on the night. Very good. And the Taoiseach will present that award, and he'll be the main speaker on the night, of course. Yes. It's a black tie affair, so it's going to be a big night. We're really looking forward. And will it raise funds for the chamber as well? Will it? At the end, I suppose when you talk about Anthony, a lot of everything goes back to money, you know. Yeah. And it takes money to run it. We're a small organisation. We have an office there. The office is staffed 2 hours a day. We have a board of directors of 15 people. I have the honour of being president for this year. I was president last year. All the work that we do is voluntary.
Yes.
And I suppose anyone that works, there's a lot of directors there that work very hard behind the scenes. We've with different subcommittees. We would have a subcommittee that looks after training and development. We would have a subcommittee that would look after the centre of the town and try and run promotions in the centre of the town. We would have obviously a fundraising committee, and we would have also put a lot of work into membership in the last while. And we're organising affiliations for our members, discounts with the ESB, discounts with phone companies. I mean, we've worked out locally. We've a couple of accountants that are members, accountancy firms that are members, and they are now going to give a free hour's consultation to our members in relation to planning and maybe financial controlling and stuff like that.
Yes, which is very, very important in the current environment. When you mentioned there about the ASB and all overheads like that, I mean, that is the key at the moment to any successful business. To stay in business is to reduce the overheads to as far as possible, but not too far that it affects business.
Yeah, there's a balance there. You have to watch your overheads, and you have to look at your overheads every single day. Every week you need to pull apart you need to be looking at your overheads and have them as tight as possible. But you also need to look after your business too.
Yes.
You have to have a certain, in our business, we're a customer service industry.
Yeah.
We have to have an amount of staff there, so we can't cut. We can't do it. But then your business goes down. So there's a level there, and you need to be very, very careful with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're in the cutting edge of it there in the retail, forecourt retail, supermarket, all of that sort of stuff. And I mean, there's no one knows it better than yourself.
We were very lucky. We have very good staff.
Yes.
We have staff with us now 12 years. We're delighted to have them, and they're very, very good. And I think without them, and they're very important. And they're very important to have. It's very important to have good staff that know the names of the customers that are coming in, that are oriented towards customer service. And that's very important. It doesn't matter, I think, what type of business you have now. Whether you're a plumber, you're an electrician, you're running a multinational company, your customer service, I feel, and we feel, I suppose, as a chamber.
There's how many? What percentage of people in the Chamber of Commerce would hold, be as per what we call as particular, or of that attention to detail, that you feel is necessary in running a business at the moment?
I think most people are, and I mean, as you mentioned earlier on, Hugh, anyone that's succeeding in this present day and staying going, they have taken a good strong look at their business. And they realise how important customer service is, how important the financials are, and to produce financials on a monthly basis, to see where their business is going, keep a constant eye on their bank account, meet with their bank manager, watch their costs. It's very, very important.
Yeah. How important is how much do they engage, you would say, from a promotional point of view? We say, this is a new concept, relatively new, Cavan TV, that people are starting to, become aware of.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, how many towns can boast their own TV station? I mean, the work that Brian has been at for the last couple of years is huge, and it's really coming to fruition now.
Yes.
And you can hear people talking about it, like you're in the shop, they're meeting people, and
yes.
Did you see Cavan TV last night? Did you see the show that was on last night?
Yeah.
And that's great to see, and it's a great connection. I suppose the other side of it too is it's a great connection to people that are living away from home now. I mean, from what I heard before I came on, there's people all over the world watching this here tonight, and it's a great connection for those people too, to realise what's still going on, is still positive. If you come back here, there could be a job here. And it's akin to Cavan TV. Listen, it's just brilliant. Yeah,
I mean the stats. When you look at them, the fellow says in the back that we were discussing them earlier on. 175 countries watching. So you were nervous, a bit nervous about coming on.
That many people watching.
We didn't tell you that when you were on there. But that is genuine. That is the sort of figures. And I suppose the flag hole is, whilst it was brilliant for the community and people love Irish music, but it really, really, in my opinion, put Cavan on the map. And Cavan TV was such a huge part of that.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, I think when Jack Keys and Kyotis envisaged the flag Kyoto 5 years ago, when they first thought about it,
yes,
the idea was to portray Cavan in a very, very positive light, and to advertise it to the world. And it couldn't have happened, I don't think, without Cavan TV and the work they've done. To do that as well.
And Amanda was mentioned now, not the 2 shows back, we were watching it down in the green room. Paul referred to him as Martin Donohoe.
Oh my God!
You couldn't but mention Martin. He was a huge.
The work again, the time. I don't think people realise the time that goes in to organising events and to organise the time that goes in behind the scenes. And Martin would be typical of that.
Yes.
Typical of the community work that people have done. They love to have it for their community and their county.
Yes.
To put in that work and not get paid for it, and it's voluntary work.
Yeah.
Like, it's a credit to Martin what he did. Really
Just
is.
one thing I want to bring you back on there. You said the fact that you're not a native of the town, you know, your wife and you have a young family in the town. You know, how did you find integrating with the Cavan? Now, I'm of course born and reared, as I say, a couple of generations back from Cavan. But how did you, as a complete outsider, you know, I know you had business connections in the town you were in before, but now, how do you find integrating in the town with your wife and family?
To put it mildly, we love it.
Right.
And
that's great.
That's
great
really,
to hear.
Business aside, I know it's
Yes.
a business show, but on a personal basis,
Yeah.
in my view and my wife's view, we have 4 young kids under 11. Cavan Town is not too small, it's not too big, it's a lovely provincial town to live in. It's a lovely provincial town to raise your family in. Look at all the organisations: basketball, rounders, handball, athletics, gymnastics, camogie, football, and judo. Look at the amount of organisations you can that your children can become involved in, and you as an adult can become involved in. Cavan Lions Club, St Vincent de Paul, Toastmasters.
Yeah, I'm involved in that myself.
You're
So
involved,
yeah. And BNI is another network as well.
network.
Yeah, all those networks are as a. Now, there's one thing that just strikes me. You know this story that you hear around the there'll be businesses closed after the Fleadh and all. And once they're only, you know, once the Fleadh's gone, there'll be only the half of the business in the town. I mean, that's, I don't think. Like, I mean, it's great for the town, but businesses have been here before the Fleadh, and whilst it's a fantastic amount of money has been generated. How will it affect next year? How will it take them to it? It'll take a while adjusting.
Listen, you talk to business people. I talk to publicans on a daily basis. I would talk to hoteliers on a daily basis, and different business people in the town. They're all coming up with their own little ideas there behind the scenes all the time, working away all the time. Whether it's putting country and western into your pub at night time, whether it's organise something different, whether it's putting special menus on, lower prices on, whether it's Ross Meadow outside. Out in the Kimmer at the moment, he's after renovating his garden outside. Yeah. He's redeveloping the old nightclub as a function at the moment. Yeah. There's all that kind of stuff there going on.
And that all takes money to do, and it provides employment when it's going on as well. And I seen Declan Shorten there on the Meadowview last weekend, Cavan TV.
Massive.
Fantastic 25-year celebration.
So I think people are thinking outside the box here.
Yes.
That's what they're doing.
They have to.
They have to. And if you think outside the box, you keep your costs low, you work harder to keep your head down, why wouldn't it be a success? Right. And that's what's going on here, I think. It's brilliant to see, and people will come up with ideas. Things are not going to close down because the Fleadh's gone. No, it's not going to.
Now there was over I did 1,000 people at that gathering in the in the Meadowview on last Friday night.
Huge. I mean, again, advertised all over the world by Cavan TV.
Cavan, which is
what other town? Could you pick another town in Ireland that?
But surely there should, we say, on a guess, there was probably 50% of those people came to Cavan specifically for that. You know, from outside. Yeah. You know, so and it was of course. Greatly supported there by the GA and Declan, of course, and his good lady wife. They have been always a long-time supporter of the GA.
They have. I mean, Claire and Declan have always been a supporter of the GA. Declan would have sponsored teams over the years. I think he trained Killigary, I think, at one stage as well. And brilliant.
Killishandra man originally.
Well known. The Shermans are well known. But for such an event out there, and for that event to be broadcast all over the world, isn't that some achievement?
Yes. It draws. It's, I mean, for the when you hear the amount of people that's watching in, you just wouldn't even want to give a thought. Now, there's one thing I want to come back to before I forget, is the gathering next year. How will that, in your opinion, it's been heavily promoted throughout Ireland, and of course Cavan are forefront in their section of it as well.
Once again, Cavan seems to be in the forefront of that as well. There was a meeting held last, I think it was September. There was another meeting held there in October, and the ideas had been put together. And this
I was at that. That was the one in the Kilmore.
I was at that. There was actually one held before that as well.
Yes.
And very, very successful. A huge turnout. I think there was 300 or 400 people there that night. They had to bring extra chairs into the room for people that were bringing in ideas and wanted to become involved in it. Such a brilliant community, great place, great town to live in.
Yeah. So
but I think the gathering will be very, very important for next year. And I think it's very important on local organisations and local community organisations to become involved in it, and to organise whether it's 10 people or 200 people or 1,000 people. organise, get the head down, and the satisfaction out of organising a successful event.
Yes. And if they're not, if you don't bring them to your town, they'll be going to some other town.
Of course, yeah.
And the event last Friday night in Dublin, the football game, or no, Saturday I think it was in Dublin, yeah. And there was an event. It was I was watching it that Rotterdam versus Notre Dame. Yeah, I got to get it right. Yeah.
I mean, it showed the amount of people that live in America with Irish extraction. Again, a huge event.
35,000 Americans was in Dublin last weekend. Now, I ask you, it's fantastic. Like
that a city in Europe could have done that.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic for the contacts, and they were randomly, interviewed. Seen them on Friday evening, and someone was asked, like, why are you here, right? And one guy just said, he says, because my dad bought me tickets. He said, you got to see Ireland. Now, his ancestors from here, he maybe would have been back, he said his parents would have been back once in their lifetime. So he said that absolutely, fantastic. So when you see so many people, of that American connection talking about Ireland, it is a spin-off to, to the, and that was specifically linked to the gathering event that's coming up.
Oh yeah, it is. And one of the things that I've noted since I came to Cavan, since I moved to Cavan 12 years ago, when you would talk to people, the amount of friends and family they have living in New York and America. I mean, there's people in Cavan Town, they go to New York for a weekend because they have friends over there, they have family over there. And so that's why it's going to be very, very... Cavan, there's a huge market for Cavan. To bring people back, because so many people live abroad. Yeah.
Now we're coming to the end of the show, and I want to just come back to the Chamber of Commerce. Where you've spoken at length about the awards, and it'll be covered in the Anglo-Celt next week, and it's on again on the 27th
of September.
In the Hotel Kilmore.
Hotel Kilmore, yes.
Right. Now the Chamber of Commerce, if anyone wants to get involved, any new businesses might be watching tonight, coming to Cavan, thinking, how do you...
We have an office up there. We have an office in town, and that's open from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. We also have a website, Cavan Chamber of Commerce.ie, and also you can email us at info@cavanchamber, and you can find us there. If anyone rings or emails us, we will respond to them that day or the following day. Someone from the office will respond to them or ring them and talk to them about Cavan Chamber of Commerce and what it has to offer to the business community and to help in Cavan Town.
Jim, I'd like to thank you for coming in this evening. I was as nervous as you were, and that we'll not tell anybody. We were discussing all them things in the green room. Now, that was my first show this evening, the Business and Enterprise Show here on Cavan TV. I'd like to thank people for watching, and we'll be back again next week, same time, same place. Good evening.
Thank you.